Right, so we'll talk about post-secondary education. First of all, before I go any further, I want to mention to you that post-secondary options have nothing to do with you have to go to college. Those are not connected. Post-secondary options is about what are you going to do after high school. So if I were to ask any one of you, what does post-secondary mean? What could you tell me? All it means is what? Post-secondary simply means after high school. All it means is after high school. Post, which means after. Secondary, which is high school. Post-secondary is after high school. So this is about post-secondary education and what kinds of degrees you can get. So let's talk about this. So post-secondary degrees in the U.S. are available at the associate's, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral levels. Each degree plays its own set of critical roles in career advancement, intellectual fulfillment, and personal satisfaction for different people. The degree you will choose will be largely based on the type of career you wish to have and what the requirements are for the job that you want. So, what do I have to do in order to get a degree? Well, you've got to earn the credit hours. Often there's testing. Sometimes you have to write a doctoral thesis or a master's thesis. So you got to fulfill, but mostly you have to fulfill all the credit hours, just like you're doing in high school. Okay, let's talk about that. So each class often counts as a 3 or 4 hour course. Usually this is the case. In addition to credit hours, some degrees require additional items such as thesis. And you also have to do lab hours for science perhaps, but maybe for theater you have to do plays and work in the shop, or for different kinds of things you have to do different things outside of your classroom and studying hours. And then under each degree there are many different kinds of majors and minors, so let's talk about that. So we're all here at Primavera to get our high school diploma, or to gain credits to get towards that. So our undergraduate degrees look like this. We start with the associate's degree, which Fernando was actually referring to. The associate's degree is as follows. Basically, it's a 2-year degree where you get an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science. Often, they lead to you going to a 4-year university, although it doesn't have to. I'd like to use my own self as an anecdote. I chose to go to a 2-year college because of the cost. It's a lot less expensive. While I was in college and in my 2nd year at my associate's degree, junior college, I decided upon the best college for me that would have the degree I wanted, but also would take the most credits, right? Less work, less money. I was all into that. So anyway, like I said, they often help you transfer to a 4-year university. And again, I recommend those for cost. Other degrees that you might be able to get are the Associates of Applied Science, Applied Arts, and Teaching. A bachelor's degree, which we call a 4-year degree. It's a very common degree. Here are some examples of what a bachelor's degree looks like. A Bachelor of Arts, a BA, which is what I have. Bachelor of Science, which many of your science and math instructors have. Then you've got all sorts of interesting things. Architecture, business administration. That's especially if you want to go on to get your MBA, which is your Master's of Business Administration. Your BFA and your BSN. Alrighty, let's talk about the biggins. Lots of time and money, but it's very worth it for so many people. So there are many kinds of master's degrees. As you can see, the MBA that I referred to: education, social work, arts and science, which aren't necessarily for arts and science, and then you've got doctoral degrees. They are mostly towards training for research, writing, and teaching at an advanced level. So a PhD, we've all heard of those. We've got doctorate of education, so a lot of principals have doctors of education. You have nurse practitioners who are like doctors, but they have they're nurse practitioners. And let me tell you a little story, okay? I have a friend who got his D.MA. I don't necessarily expect you to know what a DMA is, but I will tell you it's a doctorate of musical arts. Okay, so this friend of mine got his PhD in a musical instrument. I bet you could not guess what this musical instrument was. Does anybody want to try to guess so we can keep this a little bit lighter? What on earth could my friend have gotten his doctorate of musical arts in? Was it piano? Was it saxophone? Nope, it wasn't anything as interesting as that. I will tell you, he got it in tuba. My friend got his doctorate in tuba. Can you believe that? So this is your doctorate degree. So different professional degrees. An MD is a PhD in medicine. And the DDS is a PhD in dental surgery. A PharmD is a PhD in pharmacy. A JD is a law degree, PhD law degree. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit higher level than like your straight up law degree. So, and then you've got the DVM, which is a PhD in veterinary medicine. So you've got a lot of choices and a lot of school. Can you guess how long most people go to school, including their internship to be a medical doctor, a straight up family practitioner medical doctor? Can you guys guess how long you go to school? Six is a very good guess, but with the other, so if you think about it, you go to 4 years of get your bachelor's degree, then you go straight to medical school, which is kind of like wrapping your master's and your PhD all together in one, and then you do approximately 2 years of interning. So it's closer to 9. Yep, 9 or 10. And I don't even know if any of us could venture to guess what kind of bills you have after that. They could be in the $500,000 range, if not more. So pretty crazy. So why? Okay, why do we do that? It's a lot of money, but look at this one. So why would we want to do that? So if there's the stack. The more education you get, generally around the world and in the United States, generally you will make more money. Counting on being the exception to the rule isn't really a good thing to count on. You should count on having more education and getting more money for what you do. But of course, there are different examples. And education isn't for everyone, nor should anyone tell you that it is. Additional post-secondary education. Okay, so we're going to get out of here. What I want to do is I immediately want to take you to your week 3 form. Okay, so you're just going to watch the magic as I open up tab number 111 to show you our week. Okay? So we are going to answer these together, so then you have a head start. There's only 3 of you in the session, but then you will have the answers. So, number 1, any education after high school is called what? Post-secondary, prehensile, post-apocalyptic, or college? Post-secondary. Okay, so now we're going to talk about FAFSA. So then what that leads me to do is to take you back to my presentation so that I can talk to you about how to get financial aid. Okay, so we'll come back to that question.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in a war with technology today. Okay, Financial Aid 101. So let's say you're interested in going to a 4-year university. Let's say you're interested in going to a 2-year junior college or community college. Let's say you're interested in going to school to be a mechanic, maybe a specialized mechanic like an Audi or Volkswagen, maybe a Tesla. Maybe you're interested in going to be a cosmetologist. So all of these things, you're very likely going to want to get financial aid for that. Well, there's different kinds. So we're going to learn about higher education. Can you hear me if I'm right here, guys? Okay, good. We're going to understand types of financial aid and why it's important. We're going to talk about FAFSA. And we're going to walk you through some cost activity very quickly. So we've already talked about higher education, post-secondary education. So we're going to talk about financial aid. Financial aid is any type of assistance or finance that will help you with your higher education. Again, it can be grants, which is money that is, I'm going to show you at the bottom. And this money can be obtained through scholarships, grants, student loans, or work studies. And there's different kinds of student loans as well. So let's talk about it.
Where are you at?
So scholarships are from the government, but sometimes they can be private as well. And I'll tell you about that. So scholarships are usually earned by doing something. You have academic achievement, or you've done something through a private organization, or you have extraordinarily high scores. Okay? Scholarships versus, and that, of course, the word scholar is implied there. Scholarships are different than grants. Grants are often based upon need. So if you and your family qualify for grants, it's certainly something to look into. Then there's work study. So you get a paycheck and it will help make your college cheaper. But it's a tough road because you've got to work almost full time and go to school full time. You have government student loans, which have very, very much lower interest rates than your private student loans, but they're harder to get. And private student loans are easy to get, but have very high interest rates, and you're going to be paying them back for a long time. So, FAFSA, what does it stand for? It stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Free application for federal student aid. Okay, so before I move any further, I want to recommend to all of you who are listening or here in the course right now to go to www.fafsa.org and fill it out as soon as possible. Whether or not you are going to be getting any money from school, having that online, having that access, having filled that out is a super good idea, guys. It is a very, very good idea. You can also look it up on Google. Excuse me. Student aid. Okay. Why is it important? Of course, it's not working up here, huh? Why is it important? Well, everybody should have the opportunity to go to school. And if it's only finances that are holding you back, hopefully that we can, our society can help you achieve what you want to. Obviously, you have to work very, very hard to get to it as well, but hopefully society can match you to get there. So there you go.
Well, here's the thing.
So how much does my school cost? Here's something really fun to go to. And there you go.
Where is?
So I want to click out of here. Do love her. And I want to ask you, number 2. FAFSA stands for A, B, oops, you already can see it, A, B, C, or D.
So it's not, yeah.
Fantastic Aragog flubberworms and scabbers. Financial aid forms submit again. Free all festive San Antonio. Okay, yes, very good. Number 3, your only option after school, high school, is a 4-year university. True or false?
No, don't worry about it. I just, it's
False. So we have not covered this, but I'm going to ask you about it right now. Can you guess for me which is the largest branch of the military based on whether Fernando has actual knowledge, which I might suspect he does, or if you could just guess based upon how you feel. Okay? Well, the largest branch is the one that has the largest standing army, and that means on the boots on the ground. So it's not the ones in the sea, so that makes it not the Coast Guard, the Marines, or the Navy, and it's not the ones in the sky. So it is the Army. The Army is the largest branch. And the reason this is in week 3 is because we encourage you to also go, if your dream is to join the military, then by all means, do your research. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, which one of these is not a local community college? And when I say local, I mean Arizona. Rio Salado, Pima, Arizona State, or Chandler Gilbert? Keep guessing, guys. Rio Salado, blank, blank, blank. Pima, blank. Arizona State, blank. Chandler Gilbert, blank. Let's see. Let's narrow it down. Rio Salado is a community college that is in Mesa. Okay, let's narrow it down. So now we know it's either Pima, Arizona State, or Chandler Gilbert. Chandler Gilbert Community College is located on the border of Chandler and Gilbert. Now we have Pima and Arizona State. You are correct. Rio Salado Community College, Pima Community College, Arizona State University, and Chandler Gilbert Community College. Very good. What is the most expensive option for a post-secondary education given the choices below? A 4-year public university, a vocational school, a 2-year community college, or a 4-year private college? Most expensive of the 4. Ding, 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 ding. It is D. It is a private college. I'm hoping that you base that upon just what makes sense to your ears. A public university is somewhat sponsored by the state. A vocational school is much like, maybe, again, like I mentioned, might be a beauty college or something along those lines. 2-year community college and a private college. Private colleges are very, very expensive. So I'd like to show you, so you now have all the answers. So let's type this in. The most expensive, let's see what it's asking. It automatically comes up with. I'm typing with one hand here. The most expensive colleges in the United States. Let's look at this. Okay, You may not have even heard of some of these. Let me try to make this a little bit larger. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys, of top one, have you, whoa. Number one, I have never even heard of. Number two, number three, number four, number five. I've not heard of this one either. Can you imagine $67,000 a year? And that's just tuition. Well, it's okay, plus room and board. So $67,000 a year to go to a college. Can you even imagine? So, you know, the big H isn't even on here. Harvard, Yale's not on here, but several others of these are. So, Johns Hopkins is a great, very famous doctor mill that send out a lot of doctors. So I want to thank you so much for coming to the class today. Again, before I sign off, for everyone, I want to remind you that you only have one more project due in this course, but it's a huge one. You have to have both a resume and a cover letter. Again, there are many templates within your course. There are templates that you can reach out, and I will also be sending you several resources.